Jeff talk for a minute. Tell everybody
Okay, good
what's
morning,
going on.
everyone. Welcome to the webinar. Proud to bring Renee Vollmer on the screen. And I think, Brad, you could just bring your screen back
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Here we go. I just want to.
Okay, it's back
Okay,
up. And if
you
you
should see
blow that
something
up,
now.
yeah, if you could, well, I can blow mine up.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
this
that's
is
perfect.
it's
Okay,
fully
we're proud to
widescreen.
bring
Jeff,
Renee.
I'll let you talk to everybody.
Yeah, we're proud to introduce Renee Vollmer of United Health One. She's taking over for Evan, and she's going to discuss the dental and vision products, among other things, and probably some more information about what's going on with United Health One. And if you would advance the screen, next screen. You know the drill, guys. If you got a question, put it in the question box. Okay, we monitor that throughout the presentation.
Yeah, not
So
the
far, no
chat.
questions or
There's
comments.
a
You can also put it in chat. You can also put it in chat. We monitor both. And we'll get to the questions at the end of the presentation. I'll jump in if if there's a pause and there's a question that needs to be addressed right away. We're the dynamic duo of the individual market. So my colleague Brad Petrella is the business development manager for Northern Ohio, and he's located in the western suburbs of Cleveland. And there is his phone number and email address. Um, I'm located down in Cincinnati, and here's my phone number, email address, and also check us out on social media. Can you advance the next screen?
sure will.
Okay. So, Renee, can you hear us loud and clear?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
we'll transition to we'll make you the presenter, and perhaps
Okay.
you can talk on the new role that you have, and maybe just where Evan's headed, and kind of help us. Now we're looking at your screen, hopefully.
I
It
just
says
made
choose
her the
what to
presenter.
share.
Okay,
So
not there
sharing
yet.
screen.
Renee, you're listed twice as a panelist, so um, I may have done the wrong one.
Yeah, it says choose what to share. Microsoft Edge tab, window, entire screen. But it's not letting me.
Do entire screen.
There we go. But it doesn't, the share button is grayed out.
Okay, hang on. Let me make your other. Wait. Uh, why can't I find you? There were two of you. It should be there. Uh,
I can see the three across the top, Microsoft Edge tab, window, and entire screen. But when I flip to any of them, it's not letting me hit the share button at the bottom.
hmm. Let me. Jeff, do you know what's going on? Hey, gang. Sorry about this. We're having some difficulty with the different things. So give
Try
us a
this one.
second to get
Tell me
reorganized.
if you can see this now. I'm
Yeah,
going to
there
try
you go.
sharing
Yes,
the
Yep,
window.
yep.
absolutely.
There you
Okay.
go.
Off and running, and then,
And
as you
then
know, there you
there we
go.
go.
We're off and running.
All right.
We're off and running.
Thanks everybody for your patience
Just keep
waiting for us. Us
just keep
highly
typing buttons and
sophisticated
it'll work.
people.
Yeah. um, so DentalWise Max and VisionWise launched a couple weeks back, and then we also did tack the AccidentWise product onto the end of this webinar if we have time, because we launched AccidentWise last week. My name is Renee Vollmer. Some of you know me already. I worked with some of you. I'm a national account executive. I've been with the company. It'll be 21 years this August. And The way we worked before is I shared accounts with our key FMO reps. So we had three key FMO reps. Evan would have been assigned to your account, and then I would have worked with his downline brokers. So we kind of partnered on the accounts. The number of accounts that we have kind of became unmanageable just for 3 people. So instead of dividing all our key and FMO accounts across 3 people, and then we partnered with them to share those accounts, we now have split all the accounts out between 6 of us. So Evan is still here. He has been assigned a subset of accounts. I have been assigned a subset of accounts. And what we are now responsible is kind of from the top down. So not much different than what I was doing before, other than now I will work more closely with Jeff and Brad, and I've already worked with Jeff quite a bit in the past. I'll just work more closely with them and their downline. So it's one point of contact from the top down now. So that's really all that's changed. Like I said, I've worked with some of you already, but that's what the change was moving forward. The new product we launched end of January, towards the end of January, and basically we also own SureBridge. If some of you are familiar with them, we kind of looked at the portfolio that SureBridge had to offer as well as what we were currently offering, and we decided to take the better of the 2 products, which is why you saw this change happen. Dental is our second bestseller behind the core medical products, and oral health is connected to overall health. So diabetes, asthma, heart disease, pregnancy are just some of the conditions that can be linked to oral health. 17.5% of adults have a high-risk condition that can be detected via the mouth, and you're 2 times more likely to have heart disease if you have gum disease. So dental insurance is important because it does more than just take care of your teeth. It also potentially can help to diagnose illness. Vision, eye health, same thing. It's a window to the overall health of your entire body. Eye exams can help identify 270 chronic conditions, including diabetes and hypertension. And according to IQ, 1 in 5 Americans say an eye health professional detected or diagnosed a non-related health issue. 1/4 of those Americans note that an eye health professional detected floaters in their eyes. So again, it's just an important coverage to have. Vision is the 3rd most asked for benefit over a core medical product and right behind dental, because both dental and vision can indicate overall health as well. So the new suite of products is 3 new product offerings. So we've also simplified the portfolio quite a bit. If you remember back to our previous portfolio, it was lengthy. There was a lot of products there, I think 12 to 15 products combined. And now we have streamlined that down into 2 dental products and 1 standalone vision product. What's changed from the Golden Rule Dental Gen 3 product that we have? This is some of the key changes. Obviously, we just touched on one. It's a simplified plan structure. 3 dental plans, 3 dental, vision, and hearing plans. So there's 3 dental only. There's 3 dental, vision, and hearing. That's a combined dental, vision, hearing product. Then there's 1 vision plan. So much more streamlined down from the pretty extensive and sometimes overwhelming portfolio that we had under the Golden Rule platform. Benefits payable on a policy year basis rather than a calendar year basis. So these benefits do not reset in January. These benefits reset based on when you took out your policy. So policy year rather than calendar year. There are no more waiting periods on any of the plans. There's a shorter grading period, which you'll see in a minute. We still have an escalating benefit, but it's a shorter grading period. Lower price points is probably the biggest thing. So the price points on these products, from what I've seen up to this point, has been quite a bit better than our previous portfolio. Hearing benefit is now available for under age 65. On the previous portfolio, it was a hearing discount under age 65. Now it's a true hearing benefit for any age bracket. Ability to use hardware hearing benefit for over-the-counter hearing aids. So before you were just using our Epic was the hearing company that we partnered with for the hearing piece of the policy. Now you're able to use the hearing aid benefit for over-the-counter hearing aids. And the one exception for the waiting periods is implants. That's still going to be a 12-month, which we'll see. So dental-wise, max, and vision-wise, this applies to all three of the plans. Primary issue age is 18 to 99, 16 to 99 for the spouse. Dependent issue ages is 0 to 26, or as required by the state. Some states allow dependents to stay on the plan a little bit longer. Renewable for life, subject to policy provisions. So as long as you keep paying your premium, you're going to continue to have a policy with us. It's a tiered rate structure. It's very similar to how group prices their products. So it's going to be individual, individual and spouse, individual and children, or family coverage. And there's no application fee on the plans. These are the dental-wise products. This is just dental. All benefits are per insured person per policy year, unless we state otherwise. So there are no waiting periods on the basic plan, the plan 1000 or the plan 2000, but the plan 2000 does include implant coverage, and that would be a 12-month wait before you could utilize that benefit. The deductible on any of the plans is going to be $100 per person per year. And the annual max on all plans but the plan 2000 is $1,000. Preventive services are covered at 100%, not subject to the deductible. Basic services are going to be covered. This is years 1 and years 2, so this is a tiered benefit structure. So beginning policy year 2, we are covering 60% of the cost. You are covering as the client 40%. And then going into your 3rd calendar year, you would be at, I'm sorry, you're covered right away at 60-40. And then your 2nd year, you're covered at 80-20. Major services not covered on the basic plan, but we do cover it on the plan 1000 and the plan 2000. We are going to pay 15% the first year and 50% the 2nd year and beyond. And implants are not covered on the first 2 plans, but on the plan 2000, it is a covered expense at 50% with a $1,500 maximum. The dental-wise max is very similar, except it has a plan 3000, which has a higher annual maximum. So again, $100 per person per year deductible. The annual max is either 1, 2, or 3000. We'll go up to 3000 on this particular plan. Preventive services, all again covered at 100%, no waiting period, not subject to deductible. Basic services, the same as you saw previously, 60-40 the first year, 80-20 the 2nd year. And then major services, 15 the first year, 50% years 2 and beyond. And implants is going to be covered on this one on all plans except the plan 1000. It is covered on the plan 2000 and plan 3000 at 50%, again, once that 12-month waiting period has been satisfied. The thing that dental-wise max is going to include is it's going to include a vision benefit. It's part of the price that you see when you quote this product. So no waiting periods for a vision exam. The eye exam in-network is covered at 100%. You're given a $50 allowance if you use an out-of-network provider. Standard lenses and frames, whether it be single, bifocal, trifocal, or lenticular, $10 copay, and then you have different allowances out of network. So we would give you a $40 allowance for single vision, 60 for bifocal, 80 for trifocal if you use a non-network provider. And then frames, you are given a $150 allowance towards your frames in network, a 75 out of network. Contact lenses up to a 12-month supply. If you're using an in-network provider, it's going to be a $10 copay with a $150 allowance, and out of network is a $105 allowance. These plans also, we refer to them as DVH, dental vision hearing, because these plans will also include at the price quoted hearing. It's going to be no waiting periods. The hearing exam is covered at 100% in network. And hearing aids, you are given a $750 allowance once every 2 policy years towards prescription or over-the-counter hearing aids.
Renee, it's Brad. I thought Evan
Yeah.
told us back in January that in Ohio, hearing was not approved by the state. Is that correct?
I believe so. I will verify
Okay.
that for you guys, but I believe that is the case. And you would
Okay.
know that because then that product simply would not be quotable for you in eStore. So I can double check on that for you. Um,
Okay.
if that is the case, eStore is always kind of what we call the source of truth. So if you're putting in an Ohio zip code and you're not seeing the DentalWise Max plans, that's because either we don't offer them there or we're not being allowed to offer them there. So you can't ever really screw up what you're seeing in eStore, but I will verify and double check on that for you. And then what I just talked about when it comes down to the DentalWise Max plan would only be applicable if some of you that are on the line with us have non-resident licenses, in which that state is the product that's offered. But I will
Great.
verify that for you.
Thanks.
Vision-wise, this is going to be the standalone vision product. So maybe somebody doesn't, and in the case of Ohio, you might not be able to buy the combined products. So the dental would be your standalone product, and then you would have to partner that with the VisionWise product. This is the standalone vision. It differs a little bit from our previous plan. On our previous plan, we offered Plan A and Plan B. Plan A, you got glasses or contacts. Plan B, you got glasses and contacts in a calendar year. Now we've just combined it, and basically this is a Plan B. It's going to be glasses and contacts in a calendar year. Again, no waiting periods, eye exam, 100% in network, $50 allowance out of network. All the copays that we just talked about on the previous DentalWise Max are the same on this particular product for standard lens and frames, and then the same with contacts. Geographic pricing is based on the cost structure of the state, unique rate in every state. So don't assume that because vision costs $11 in Ohio that it's going to cost $11 in Wisconsin. That may not be the case. It would be a unique rate in every state based on geographic pricing. The ability to adjust pricing is based on medical trend. I really don't see too many rate increases on dental and vision over the course of the time that I've been here. Can they happen? They can, but typically if there's going to be an increase on those products, it's small single digits. Plus, the best place for accurate rates is the quoting tool. So it's of course eStore. Like we said, eStore is always going to be kind of your source of truth. We're certainly not opposed to using other quoting software that's offered out there on other platforms if that has been what you've been doing. But definitely eStore, if there's ever any question, eStore is always going to be correct. Non-network provider benefits are determined by zip code. So Dental Gen 3 in areas that allowed for MAC pricing, both MAC and reasonable and customary plans are available. MAC is just maximum allowable cost. It's just another way of saying reasonable and customary. Dental-wise, we are going to offer MAC or RNC plans, not both, in a zip code based on availability network providers in that area. And you would see that sometimes it'll say, I believe it's going to say DentalWise Plus. That may mean that you are getting non-net or better non-network negotiated rates in those areas. Same network as we had, National Options PPO 30. So the network is exactly the same as what it was on the Golden Rule plans. Streamlined experience through self-service tools is going to help provide information, resources, and connections for the insureds. So there is no claim submission for in-network providers. That has always been the case. That will continue to be the case. If you're using an in-network dentist, they are contractually bound to file a claim on your behalf. And right now there's 118,000 providers in the United States that are in the National Options PPO 30 network. Find a dentist. It's pretty easy. You just go to www.yourdentalplan.com/dentist search. It's going to take you right to the Find a Dentist page. You're going to always put in National Options PPO 30 in the network type. And then you can search by location. You can search within a certain mile radius of that location. And then what type of dentist that you're looking for. If you're looking for a general dentist, endodontist, oral surgeon, whatever particular type of dentist you might be looking for. Vision Network, same thing. It's the old Spectera network, which is now UnitedHealthcare's Vision Network. So it's the same as what was on our dental plan previously. 146,000 access points nationally. So we include some of the top ones, right? 1-800 Contacts, Costco, LensCrafters, Sam's, VisionWorks, Walmart. There's several national chains that are in that. Pearl Vision's in that. I use Pearl Vision myself. So same network as we had previously on the Vision. Vision providers easy, myuhcvision.com, and you're able to search for a provider. Hearing provider, uhchearing.com/GRIC. Is where you can find the vision providers, and there's 7,000 approximate providers nationwide there. Out-of-network dental benefits, so regular plans are capped at negotiating maximum allowable cost. Plus plans that I mentioned to you, that would be an out-of-network plan, are capped at the 85th percentile of usual and customary or reasonable and customary. We did sunset the Golden Rule products, the Primary, the Premier, and the Gen products on January 26th. So those will no longer be for sale in states that now offer the new DentalWise Max and or VisionWise. And we also sunset the Plan A and Plan B on the Vision side, like we talked about on January 26th.
And just can I jump in, Renee, just so we're
Sure.
sure on the DentalWise and the DentalWise Max in those states, where it's to be offered, is it available now, or are we still waiting?
On the states,
That it's
the DentalWise
replacing,
Max.
where it's replacing the Gen 3, yeah, where it's replacing the Golden Rule product. Is it available now?
Yep, we replaced it January 26th.
Okay, just want to be sure about that piece. Okay.
Yep. So this slide is already answering the question for us in that these are the states that the new products are available in. So you will have, I have to correct myself, you will have a vision benefit in Ohio on the DentalWise Max. So it'll be dental vision combined. You just won't have the hearing portion of it. So you'll still have DentalWise Max. It just will not be inclusive of the hearing portion of it. But you can get the combined dental vision product in Ohio. Just won't have hearing. And as it states there, there's no hearing on DentalWise Max in those states: Alaska, Arkansas, Georgia, Maryland, Maine, and Ohio.
And it will be priced appropriately for Ohio on the DentalWise Max because it's short.
Minus the hearing benefit.
Yeah, minus the hearing benefit. So
correct.
That way you don't need to buy two separate policies between VisionWise and DentalWise. So Max will
Correct.
still
If you wanted to bundle it, you will get dental and vision on the DentalWise Max in Ohio. You just won't get the hearing benefit. But we do still sell the separate vision and dental plans as well, in case somebody doesn't want our dental and they really just only want vision. So that would still be available to you as well.
Great.
Vision map is pretty identical to, this is the standalone vision product, the availability, pretty similar to the dental portfolio. Just some quick housekeeping or business rules when it comes to the DentalWise Max plans. Golden Rule will not allow for someone to switch carriers without having a waiting period or a 60-day gap. So that means you can't jump between, I bought a DentalWise today and I decide tomorrow I really want the DentalWise Max because I want to include vision. That can't happen. You would have to go away for 60 days and then reapply. If you try to sell a duplicate policy to a member that has that exact same coverage and it is active, application will be returned. The original policy will remain in force. I'm not sure that would happen if you are the broker on the policy, but what we sometimes will have happen is maybe broker A sold the policy, and then for whatever reason the client goes, talks to another broker, broker B tries to sell them the same policy, not knowing they already had it. That's going to get returned. You try to sell like coverage, and that means maybe they had a previous Golden Rule plan. If the prior plan was terminated within the past 0 to 59 days, the new coverage will be returned, so no exceptions. If the prior plan was terminated more than 60 days, new coverage will be issued, and first-year commissions will be payable.
Quick question I've got.
Mhm.
Is there, coming from the Gen 3 plan over to the DentalWise plan, is there deductible carryover?
There's not. And it's going to be treated, you'd have to have that 60-day gap.
And talking about the DentalWise now, is there deductible carryover coming from a UHC group plan to the DentalWise plan?
There's not. We ask for that all the time, but we don't have any deductible carryover at this point.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Thanks.
The only exception to some of the above rules is first-year commissions will be paid if the member was scheduled to lose coverage due to age-based termination. So, for example, a child is going to age off a policy. We would not require that they have that 60-day gap in coverage. We would immediately let them take out their own policy, and then first-year commissions would apply. Vision, same thing. We're going to apply the same business rules essentially that we have right now. Is we will not allow for someone to switch carriers without having a waiting period of 24 months. So vision, you have to have a 2-year gap. Same thing if you try to sell a duplicate policy, that application would be returned. The original policy will remain in force. If you try to sell like coverage, that means you're coming from a Golden Rule plan to one of the new VisionWise plans. You would have to have that 24-month gap before we would issue new coverage. And the exception would be the same. If a child ages off, we would allow you to rewrite them immediately. No gap in coverage, and first-year commissions would apply. Clients will receive an ID card with dental. No claim forms are required when you obtain services from a network provider because you're just going to hand them your ID card and they will file the claim on your behalf. Non-network providers may submit the claim form directly to us. So I have a non-network dentist that I use. They do submit the claim for me on my behalf. If you have a non-network dentist, you just have to know that they're not contractually obligated to file the claim for you, in which case the insured would have to submit the claim to us for reimbursement. Vision, clients do not receive an ID card. So that's the biggest question I think I get on Vision is, where's my ID card? How do I go to the eye doctor? They do not get an ID card with Vision. They can print a paper ID card at myuhcvision.com, but an ID card is not required. In fact, it's not required for me as a group insured with United. I just go to the eye doctor, I give them my name, my date of birth, tell them I'm insured with United Healthcare, and they're able to access it. Like bullet point 3, just give your name and date of birth at an in-network provider, and they should be able to access coverage. No claim forms required when obtaining services from a network provider. Same thing. If they're in-network, they will file the claim on your behalf. For non-network providers, clients pay in full at the time of service, and then they submit the details of that visit to us for reimbursement. Hearing, again, clients will not receive an ID card. Members should contact UHC Hearing to initiate the hearing benefit process. Identify yourself as having United Healthcare Hearing and provide your name and date of birth. No claim form is required because our hearing benefit is in-network providers only. Some of this fact finder is going to not apply to the dental vision product, but it's kind of included in most of our ancillary webinars. So point number 1 is not going to be applicable because it's talking about critical illness, as will point number 2, which is referring to more of our accident plans. But we often tell brokers, you know, clients don't know what they don't know. And if you ask, you won't get, if you don't ask, you won't get the sale. A lot of consumers don't necessarily, some do come saying, I want dental coverage, can you get me dental coverage? A lot don't. A lot don't realize that it may be available in the individual market unless they've had it in the past. So we always say, ask, right? So ask, have you had dental coverage in the past? Would you like dental coverage again? Do you have any major dental work that needs to be done in the next 6 months? Same with vision. I think vision is the much easier sell, and it seems like such a little premium, but I had one broker tell me one time, 1 penny in a jar is not a lot of money. 1,000,000 pennies in a jar is more money. So that's what vision is like. It's just like you sell one policy, it's maybe $11 to $13 in premium, so it's not a huge commission product because it's such a small dollar premium, but one vision may not make you a lot of money, but 300 vision makes a good addition to your commission check, right? And how many people, like, does anyone in your family wear glasses or contacts? That's the easiest question. When I do these trainings in person, I can look around the room and more than 50% of the people in the room are wearing glasses, and I don't know how many more are wearing contacts. I wear contacts. So I think that's the easiest question. Do you get annual eye exams? And then obviously with the hearing, our costs associated with hearing loss are concern. For a lot of people, hearing aids are very expensive. So these are just some questions or fact-finding questions that you can ask to maybe lead them down the path to the sale. Sometimes you have to initiate those questions to get the sale as opposed to them coming to you and saying, I'd like dental, vision, and hearing. Most consumers aren't necessarily coming and asking that question, but they may buy if you ask them these questions. Obviously, the biggest sales idea is going to be the senior market. The senior market demographic is the largest consumer of our dental and vision products historically. So nearly half of all people on Medicare, 40%, 47%, so almost half have no dental coverage. That's a huge opportunity. A lot of times when people age into Medicare, they don't realize that they don't have dental coverage anymore associated with it. So what does 47% of that Medicare population look like? It's 23.6 million people. So that's a huge database of untapped potential when it comes to a dental, vision, hearing type of product. One in five Medicare beneficiaries who used any dental services spent more than $1,000. So obviously, the $1,000 benefit may not be enough for them. They may be opting more into the $2,000 or $3,000 benefit, which is why we have those higher dollar benefit amounts available on the DentalWise Max plan. And they're saying one in five Medicare beneficiaries who use dental services spent more than $1,000 out of their own pocket for that. So definitely a market that is worth tapping into. Like I said, it is the biggest demographic that purchases our dental, vision, hearing products historically, as far as age demographic. I can pause there if you would like and find out if anybody has questions on the dental or the DentalWise Max or Vision product before I hop into the AccidentWise, which actually just launched last Friday.
Thanks, Renee. We do indeed have a question. Can this be stacked with other dental coverage that is with other carriers?
Or maybe on an embedded plan is potentially the other case. So maybe David is asking about a Medicare Advantage plan where there's an embedded dental.
Yep. There's no coordination of benefit. Well, I shouldn't say that. So typically what we will not allow is if you currently have a dental plan, we would not allow you to purchase another dental plan with us first. If you buy our dental plan and then you go get another dental plan, either through an Advantage plan or through a group, that we can't control. We can't control what you do after the fact. So I guess the answer is twofold. Not if you already have a dental plan, could you purchase our dental? If you don't have a current dental plan, purchase our dental first and then go purchase other coverage that we can't control. Does that make sense?
Okay. Maybe, but that's in a standalone dental plan, though, Renee. You mean not
Correct.
an embedded plan, correct?
Correct. Yep.
So, say buying an emeritus dental or an emeritus dental plan, you can't buy UH1 first and then go, or you can't have the emeritus and then add on a
Correct.
second dental plan through UH1.
Right.
But if it's an
Right. But
embedded,
if you
it's
had
fine.
ours first and then bought Emeritus, we can't control what you do.
Right.
Like we don't even know, right? We can't control what you do after you purchase our
Right. Okay. But because he's saying I was right with the embedded plan. So with an embedded plan, you can um, still buy a UH1 dental plan regardless.
standalone dental. Correct. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I guess just making sure the dentist knows which one the bill is going to is the most important thing there.
Correct. Primary and secondary is how you would have
Yeah,
to tell them to bill that.
yeah. I don't see any other questions coming in. That was a great question. I think it's on everybody's mind.
And if anybody thinks of any other questions, I mean, certainly I'll give you an opportunity again at the end to ask, but otherwise we'll just jump into the new
Yeah,
accident-wise. Um, this product I said launched last Friday, so it's pretty new. This is going to replace our Safeguard portfolio. So we're still going to have the Accident Pro series, but we will no longer have the Accident Safeguard series. And it is an indemnity insurance plan. It is designed to provide fixed benefits to help with out-of-pocket costs associated with injuries. Again, this is going to replace Safeguard. So how is Accident-Wise different from our Safeguard plans? It's a simplified plan design. Focus is on fewer, more commonly used benefits. Safeguard was a little hard for people to understand because we would say, you know, burns, concussions. We had all these kind of different categories and subcategories. So it's a more simplified plan design now. Extended issue ages for seniors up to age 75. On our Safeguard product, it would have mirrored many of our other products, and it would have only gone up to, I believe, age 64 on the Accident Safeguard. So we're going 11 extra years, and then lifetime renewability. So as long as you're under age 75 when you purchase it, you will be able to renew it past them as long as you continue to pay the premiums. Improved hospital admission, emergency, and diagnostic benefits, which we will see in a minute. Accident-wise, again, the issue ages is 18 to 75, no child only, spouse 16 to 75, and children 0 to 26. No child only, like I just mentioned. Rate is the same for all issue ages, unisex, and unismoke. So it's a per person rate. Guarantee issue for all ages, no health questions, no height, weight questions. Guaranteed renewable. Pretty much as long as you continue to pay your premium, you will have a policy with us, and a 10-day free look in most states or longer if it's required by the state. Benefits are related to an injury per person. So this is per person on the policy benefit. There's a plan 10,000, 15,000, and 20,000. Hospital admission, you must be admitted within 30 days of the injury. This will pay out one time a year. 10, 15, or $20,000, depending upon the plan that you take. Emergency room treatment within 72 hours of the injury, 1 per day up to 4 per policy year, so 4 ER visits per year have to be seen within 72 hours of the injury. However, 1,000, 1,500, or 2,000. Urgent care, same thing, within 72 hours of injury, 1 per day up to 4 per policy year, 2, 3, or 400. Major diagnostic exam, this is going to be things like CT scans, MRIs, that type of thing. Has to be done within 30 days of the injury. You'd be reimbursed up to 1 per policy year in the amount of 1,000, 1,500, or 2,000. Follow-up treatment or follow-up physical therapy within 30 days of initial onset of injury, up to 5 visits each per policy year. 100, 150, or 200 per visit, again reimbursable up to 5 times. Outpatient surgery within 30 days, 1 per policy year, 1,000, 1,500, or 2,000 reimbursement. Accidental loss of life, limb, or sight within 90 days, 1 benefit per lifetime, 10, 15, or 20,000. And then the standard rates are there. 1546 a month for the 10,000, 2817 a month for the 15, and 4420 a month for the 20,000. And the biggest thing to remember here, because I've had this come up, I've had this question come up, I've unfortunately had this situation come up. I had a client on, and these rules kind of follow the same rules as some of our accident or accident safeguard plans did. I had a gentleman that had outpatient surgery like 45 days after the initial injury, no payment, because the outpatient surgery has to be done within 30 days of the initial onset of injury. Same thing with PT, follow-up treatment or follow-up physical therapy. If you get told you need 5 visits, those 5 visits have to occur within the 30 days of the onset of the injury to be eligible for reimbursement. If 3 of them occurred within the first 30 days and 2 of them were outside the 30 days, only 3 of those will be reimbursable. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. These timelines are very important for you to be able to file a claim and get reimbursed on the accident plan. This is just showing some benefits against the competition. Again, on the hospital benefit, it's a staggered benefit in a lot of cases against our competition. Ours is going to be a payout. ER, you can see the amounts are quite a bit higher. Urgent care, same thing, quite a bit higher. Major diagnostic, I mean, all of them are quite a bit higher than some of the competitors that we are up against in this space. So this is just a comparison. And then you can see, even though their benefits are lesser as far as reimbursement, the premium is more. So these new accident-wise plans are stacking up very well against the competition in this space from a benefit and a price point perspective. Again, some of our competitors, 18 to 75, so that's going to be the same, guaranteed renewable for life, that's the same. Simplified issue, 1 health question, we are guaranteed issue regardless, there's not going to be any health questions. Individually rated, so there's a separate premium for each insured person, which would be the same, unisex, unismoke, and 1 age band. Rate doesn't vary by age, so that is going to duplicate the competition. We have 3 plan options. They have 2 child primaries that are not allowed on either of our plans. And then the benefit structure is complex. There's dozens of specific line items, many with small payments, hard to understand. We try to simplify that into fewer line items with richer benefit payouts on the new accident-wise plans. These are the states that it's approved in. Unfortunately, it is not in Ohio, but again, we still want you to be aware of this because many brokers now have non-resident licenses, sometimes in neighboring states. So this just lets you know what states it is available in case you have a non-resident license in those states. And then on February 23rd is when we sunset the Golden Rule Accident Safeguard plans, no longer available in the states that have accident-wise. Customers with existing plans, of course, are able to keep them. UHCMemberHub.com is where the member can register and view their policy. UHMemberHub.com is where they can register for any of our ancillary products. So dental, vision, accident, health protector guard, critical illness, any of our ancillary products can register. Your clients can register at UHCMemberHub.com. And out there, the client can make payments, update their address, view their policy documents, make plan changes, change their payment option. Maybe they're on EFT, they want to go to credit card, or vice versa. Maybe their credit card expired, they need to put in a new credit card. They can do that on the Member Hub and then manage and submit claims. Because this is strictly an indemnity plan, there's no network with it. So the client is going to be required to file their own claim. They would go to UHCMemberHub.com. They'd select the claim form link to download the appropriate form because, again, many of our products have the claim forms out there. So they're going to find the accident-wise claim form, download it, open the form, complete all fields, then save the form on their device. And then they would go to Secure Message, also located in the Member Hub. They would include the required information using the new claim in the subject line, upload the completed claim form that you saved, and then it will upload to our claims department and we will contact you by mail if any additional information is required for your claim. Accident-wise cannot be sold with another accident-only plan. They will need to terminate any existing accident-only coverage before requested effective date of our new plan. This is important in states where our short term is being sold. This is the thing that brokers sometimes will forget about, and it is a recent policy change for us in the fact that if you add a supplemental accident benefit onto a short-term plan, short-term, tri-term plan, you cannot buy a separate standalone plan because that supplemental accident benefit is considered an accident plan within the context of the short-term or tri-term product. So that is one thing to keep in mind. If they had an existing accident-wise plan under CLECO or under SureBridge and want to increase or decrease the benefit, the applicant can call in to make the changes, or the agent can send in a new application. And if a client is terminated accident-wise and reapplies for another accident plan, again, they have to have that 60-day break. So you have to have a 60-day break before you can apply for, if they had terminated their plan and want to come back to us, they would have to go 60 days. So again, just some sales strategies for under age 65. We all know accidents happen when you least expect it. I always recommend accident plans when there are children in the family because everyone can relate. How many times has your child been hurt on the playground, hurt at school, fell off the monkey bars, got hurt playing sports, got hurt in gym class? I mean, kids are always having accidents. I think my son was in ER 3 times in the first 3 years of his life for slip and falls and just all the time. And so hurt at daycare. Even with medical insurance, your clients may not prepare for expenses that will incur in the event of an accidental injury. Because a lot of the ACA plans, a lot of our short-term plans, you're still going to, there's not a underlying health insurance product out there that doesn't have some type of deductible attached to it. So that high deductible is something you're going to be responsible for in the event of an accident. And there are things people don't think about that aren't covered by an insurance product, right? So if as an adult you fall or you get in an accident or you get laid up because of an accident, like they say, mom slips on the ice, dad falls off a ladder cleaning gutters, you're probably going to miss a little bit of work. So you're going to have lost wages. An underlying health insurance plan doesn't pay for that. So an accident plan would give you a lump sum of money to assist with those type of expenses. And just like we said on the side, I always recommend it for families with children. 8,000 children have a fall-related visit, resulting in a trip to the emergency room each day. So again, that would have been my son. He's falling all the time. So 63% of Americans have less than a month of income in savings for emergencies. This is always a scary statistic for me because it means most Americans out there don't have a month's worth of liquid income in the event of an emergency. So if they're going to miss time from work and they're not getting paid for that, how are you paying your bills? Because 63% of Americans out there don't have the ability to do so. And 24% don't have emergency funds at all, which means a quarter of our country is living paycheck to paycheck. Accident-wise can obviously help the clients. This is in an over age 65 market. Medicare does not cover at-home assistance with everyday chores like shopping, cleaning, laundry, at-home assistance with personal care, help bathing or getting dressed, home modifications, a ramp to get in and out of the house. In the US, 1 in 4 seniors have a fall each year. Falls are the leading cause of injuries for that age demographic. And 1 out of 5 of those falls causes a serious injury. Head injury, broken bones, broken hip. 300,000 seniors are hospitalized for hip fracture each year, and 95% of those are usually due to a fall. My best friend's mom, she just had that situation. She fell, broke a hip in the hospital, 64, 65 years old. And she couldn't go home on her own. So she is staying with her daughter, my best friend, who happens to be a nurse, who's taking care of her. But if she wouldn't have that to fall back on, she would probably have to hire someone, and that is not covered by health insurance, typically. So this would be something that would help out in that type of scenario. So this is just one example. He recently increased the deductible and co-insurance on his health insurance to keep the premium affordable, but he saw the risk with a higher out-of-pocket maximum and decided to buy some ancillary products to help with that. So his primary concern was an accident. He bought an accident-wise $15,000 for $28 a month. Doing some work around the house, slipped off the ladder, hurt his knee. Went to the ER, which was a $1,500 bill. Tore a ligament, needed an MRI, that's another $1,500. 5 physical therapy benefits after surgery, which we would have paid 5 times $150, $750. So he received $37.50, which he was able to use toward his deductible. So that was money he didn't even have to put out, other than in the form of paying for the premium for the accident plan. This is just another Grace is on Medicare, lives alone, worried about falling. She purchased the accident wise $20,000 for $44 a month. She tripped and fell, taken to ER. That was 2,000. CT scan, another 2,000. Fractured hip, so admitted her to the hospital, 20 grand. So she received 24,000, which she was able to put some towards some of the expenses Medicare did not cover. So those were just some examples and a brief recap of the Accident Wise product, which we just launched a week ago. And again,
Yeah.
not available in Ohio yet. So there's future launches of that being planned. But just wanted to show you guys in case you have non-resident licenses in neighboring states. And obviously the brochures are available out on eStore if you wanted to take a look at those further. But does anybody have questions on that product?
I see none. There was a little gasp of disappointment that Accident Wise isn't available in Ohio yet. Because
Yeah,
the example that you gave, Renee, he said, this sounds like it would be a great plan for families that have children. And then
yeah,
1 minute later, you said not available in Ohio.
yeah.
Maybe in the future. But boy, wow, staggering numbers on the statistics of falls
Yeah.
for children and over 65. So definitely worth a look. I'm sure many of you on the call are already writing some sort of accident plan, but I think those statistics help really quantify why you should be adding it to just about any sale that you make to protect them. And I think you all know that. So I'm not telling you anything you don't know. So
Looks like
really great.
Evan's crashed the party. Evan?
Yeah, I thought I saw his name
Evan,
pop up.
that name pop up. Oh,
Maybe he
he's on
left.
mute.
Yeah,
He's on
yeah.
mute.
Sorry
Hey,
about
there he
that.
is.
Yeah, hey guys. It's been a wild one, but glad I was able to kind of jump in here at the end. And I was just gonna say, we're really excited. I know some of this new stuff we're bringing out. I know a lot of the folks that I've talked to or worked with, they're at Cornerstone are involved in a bunch of different markets, kind of the over 65 as well as under 65 as well as ACA. And I think Renee covered it really well. But a lot of the new stuff we're trying to do is bridging that. You know, we've traditionally been, hey, you get to about 64, 64 and a half, and we don't have much for you. But UH1's new lines of products are branching out a little bit. So hopefully that'll allow everybody to be a little more flexible with what we offer.
Hmm. And do you
Yep.
think the accident wise will come to Ohio eventually, or is there any speculation there?
Yeah, I think I was just trying to look through here. I know we've got a few things that are in the pipeline, and this goes along with. So I mean, we've got um, the dental wise, the vision wise, the accident wise are those newest ones. I was trying to look through and see if I
Hmm.
have the ETA on here. There's a whole lot of states that are all listed. So yeah, we are definitely expected to have it out there pretty soon. I don't know when exactly, but hopefully here in the next few months.
Great.
That's hopeful.
Yeah, it's such a good state for us overall. I mean, Ohio's been really strong. Part of that, I think we always try to hold down the Midwest as best as possible, just given our um, being based in Indianapolis. But I know with some of these things, it's a matter of how the states cooperate with us. So, again, hopefully we'll get everything in there real quickly and give you access to this as soon as possible.
Great.
Just
Yeah,
want to
I'm
remind.
sure it's not
Sorry.
UH1. I'm sure it's not UH1. I'm sure it's the state of Ohio, in their timing. Correct, guys?
Right.
Just getting the approvals from ODI.
Yep. It's always a matter of that. Basically, anytime we've got something new, where it's been filed, how long it may take to get through, what else they've got in the pipeline. It could be a variety of things, but I know um, we are committed. For those of you who've been doing business with us for a long time, um, what's nice is some of this stuff is already, we've already got the chassis built, right? The products are there. We've got some things there. In the past when we do these updates, it would kind of roll in 5 or 6 states at first, and then maybe 2 or 3 more, and then it would kind of be a slower roll. We have gotten a little bit more adept at bringing a larger footprint to open these plans, and part of that has to do with some of them we're able to. I don't want to say transfer over, but we've got our CLECO license, the Chesapeake Life Insurance Company, SureBridge products. Um, and some of this is merely putting it onto a different license and being able to launch it a little bit more broadly. So again, hopefully that means that we'll be getting those. And similarly, like the critical guard plan was not initially in Ohio, and that was part of what that was part of a recent launch that we kind of spread that a little bit more. So again, hopefully, and I was looking through here to kind of see the dates. I think it's pending in there, but usually we try to get a promote or a launch date for some of this new stuff, whether it's a new product or expanding a current one, just about every month. So fingers crossed, and we'll definitely keep you in the loop on that once we know for sure.
Great,
That's
great.
great.
And I do want to remind everybody that you will get a copy of the presentation. What's more, we will house the presentation out on our resource tab on our website. And
Yep, that
with
will
that,
usually
let's,
be in a day or two.
yeah. And with that, any final thoughts, Renee or Evan?
Now, if you have any questions, if anybody has any questions, they can reach out. I'd be happy to answer them. And then we can just, like Evan said, I was looking through to see what updates are coming. But as soon as we know more about additional launches in Ohio, we can let you know.
Okay, great. Well, with that, we'll conclude the presentation. Everybody, have a great day.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Evan and Renee.